Good evening. It's a Sunday in October, 22nd, 23rd, something like that. Very close to my 38th birthday. And I'm starting this tape without script or without any real organization of what I want to say. But I do feel I need to explain. This tape, what you're hearing now, is going to be the lead-in of the various phases of construction of a building, which hopefully will be the first of a series of underground buildings. The building will be multi-purpose. It'll serve as a tool room and a storage room for a lot of valuables and miscellaneous stuff that are useful to have, but not particularly items of immediate use that should be in the house. But the main emphasis of the building, the whole justification for its expense and its effort, will be a hidden portion of it, a secret room, if we can call it that, that will house a cell. This is the word that I've used in my discussions of this subject. A jail cell, if you will. And the purpose of that cell, and the main purpose, hence, of the building, will be the imprisonment of a young lady who probably at this moment is unknown to me. And nothing more. Well, actually I shouldn't say nothing more. The building, even the cell, will be multi-purpose. These are very trying times. There are wars and rumors of wars going on. Today 135 Marines were killed in Leonard. So having secret rooms, underground rooms, protected by concrete and steel and buried by 4 feet of earth, these are fairly safe investments, and the room and the building and the whole ultimate series of buildings will be designed not around the cell, but ultimately around the concept of a secret, secure living place for myself and perhaps for friends. But this first phase, it would be a lie to say it was anything other than primarily emphasizing the cell. History may be bored. Posterity may care less about this tape, care less about what I have to say. To be honest, I'm not too sure who I want to show this tape to, or if I will ever show it to anyone. But for anyone that is interested, anyone who needs my justifications and my rationalizations as to why I would want to imprison and in fact enslave a young woman, they have only to look closely at me. I'm a realist. I'm 38 years old, a bit chubby, not much hair, and losing what I have. Not particularly attracted to women, or I should say, particularly attracting to women. And all of the traditional magnets, the money, the position / power, I don't have. And yet, I'm still very sexually active, and I'm still very much attracted to a particular type of woman who, almost by definition, is totally uninterested in me. Dirty old man, pervert. I'm attracted to young women. Sometimes even as young as 12. Although, to be fair, certainly 18 to 22 is a pretty much ideal range as far as my interests go. I like very slim women, very pretty, of course, petite, small-breasted, long hair, if I'm allowed, and such a woman, by virtue of her youth, her attractiveness, her desirability to certainly the majority of mankind, simply has options. There's no particular reason why such a woman should be interested in me. But there's more to it than that. It's difficult to explain my personality in 25 words or less, but I am in fact a loner. I enjoy the peace, the quiet, the solitude. I enjoy being by myself. And while my relationships with women in the past have been sexually successful, socially they've almost always been a failure. I've gone through 2 divorces, innumerable women. 50, 55, I forget exactly the count. I counted recently, but I'm afraid a bottom line statement is the simple fact that I'm a sexist slob. I enjoy using women, and of course women aren't particularly interested in being used. I certainly enjoy sex. I certainly enjoy the dominance of climbing on a woman and using her body. But I'm not particularly interested in the id, the ego, all the things that a man should be interested in to complement a woman's need. Now I can fake these emotions, and I can fake them very well. And in the past I've been very successful with attracting fairly interesting and attractive women simply because I did fake fairly well an interest in their needs and their requirements. So momentarily I had what I wanted and they thought they had what they wanted. But in the long term, I don't want to bother. What I want is an off-the-shelf sex partner. I want to be able to use a woman whenever and however I want. And when I'm tired or satiated or bored or not interested, I simply want to put her away, lock her up in a little room, get her out of my sight, out of my life, and thus avoid what heretofore has always been the obligation to entertain or amuse or satisfy a particular woman or girlfriend's whims of emotional whatevers. Such an arrangement, of course, is not only blatantly sexist, but highly illegal, there's no doubt about it. It violates all of the human rights and blah, 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 blah. I'm going to spare posterity my concepts of other people's morality. I'm explaining my morality, what I feel, what I want. And as of this moment, I'm going to try to get it. The advantages of such a situation are, of course, obvious, and even beyond sexual. Such a woman totally enslaved would be useful for the mundane chores that I have to do, but I'm not particularly interested in doing. Clean house, washing dishes, etc. Slave, there's no way around it. Primarily a sexual slave, but nonetheless a physical slave as well. And I believe that if I can construct a holding cell, a place where I can put such a woman, where I can walk off and feel secure that she can't escape, that I can create a facility that is so stark and so empty, so cold, so quiet, so totally removed from the world, that fairly quickly, by a combination of painful punishments when I'm displeased and minor rewards such as music or magazines or some such stuff, that I can quickly condition, this is my belief, that I can quickly condition a young woman to cooperate with me fully, and in fact even look forward to cooperating with me fully, simply if for no other reason than such cooperation would be a relief from boredom. Whether I can do this or not will remain to be seen. Obviously, I've never done such a thing before, and it may not work. However, I want to try. I want to try. The cost of this enterprise is going to be immense. We're talking about $5,000, thousands of dollars for foundations, $2,000 for bricks, hundreds of dollars for, power equipment to dig the earth out, many, many costs. Still, life as I'm living it is boring. The challenge of this project, the excitement, the thrill if it succeeds, even the exciting experience if it fails, as long as I don't get caught. It's very attractive. It's something that I fantasize daily about. We'll see. I don't think there's more to say on the subject. This hopefully will be a history. Starting tomorrow, I start clearing the land. I've hired a man with a chainsaw to come over and cut some trees. And tomorrow evening a backhoe will arrive, and I'll start excavating the earth. It'll be interesting to see how far this tape can I actually go. The next step, of course, is to bring in the backhoe and to do the crude digging. I'm taking this opportunity to set up the camera outside of the building and show the area. Of course, what we're looking at now is where the building's going to be. In a bit, we'll focus in a little bit on the exact spot, take a look at some of the trees that had to come down to make way for the actual digging. Some of these tree stumps are going to be a bitch to get out. Of course, the trees provided firewood, quite a bit of firewood actually. But basically what's going on now is I'm just using the camera to pan around, show the general area, get some idea of the countryside. This is also the first time I've used the camera outdoors. I'm looking at the road that the backhoe will have to come up, basically playing with the zoom function and the focus. Recording something like this as an ongoing event is of course something very new to me. This is the first time I've ever done this with the video camera and the first time I've used the camera outdoors. And now, enter the backhoe, a case 480. Even with a case 480, one has to shift gears to get up the hill. I'm not going to take the time with the tape to show each bite of the shovel and the likes of that. Besides, right now I've got the advantage of having a couple of helpers operate the camera, whereas very soon I won't. But this is the start, and that's the 24-inch blade that's going to do the job. In a moment, we'll show you what it did. So, here it is. Backhoe worked for 24 hours. Myself and two young men with our little picks and shovels and wheelbarrows worked for another 3 or 4 days cleaning up after the backhoe. And what has resulted is a cut of earth about 21 feet across and 18, 19 feet back. And the trenches you see on the ground are the trenches that are going to hold the concrete footing for the building. Little dog chasing a butterfly. It's one hell of a lot of work. And of course it's not over. Let me scan the countryside while I'm here. This little piece of monstrosity was one of the tree stumps that came out of the hole over there. It took me an hour and a half with the backhoe to get that thing out. Over here you see where we've dumped some of the dirt. Well, that's enough for now. The next scene you see will probably be the concrete trucks pouring the concrete in the footing. And then we start to build. I can hardly wait.